I think revenge. I think that Joe was very, very poor in the first fight. He's admitted that. He it looked like he'd never seen a southpaw in his life. Never mind prepared properly with southpaws in training. Um, but with some, I mean, small adjustments, he doesn't even have to do anything major. Um, he can reverse that and win the fight. So I think that Joyce, I fancied him in the first fight, and obviously I got it wrong. But I think that he will win this fight. And there were signs in the first fight, although the eye was badly swollen and Joe was getting hit a lot, there were signs that Zhang was tiring a little bit just when the stoppage came. And Joe was having a wee bit of success, obviously with one eye shut as well. Um, I think that he can win this fight, and I think that he will stop Zhang late.
I've got to say, repeat if I'm honest, because it was so dominant. I mean, yeah, it was a very dominant performance. Look, by the way, Zhang is a very good fighter. I think he's really, really good. And I thought that when he fought Hrgovic, a fight in which I thought he won, was in there with this touted, the highly touted Croat, great amateur pedigree, as Zhang's got, but was destroying everyone. And I just think Zhang just showed what a classy fighter is, and then he's followed that up against Joyce. And yeah, I did worry about Joyce up at that higher level. You can't be taking shots like he was, silly shots and relying on your chin. You can't do that. You can do it so far, but not at that top level. And unless can you teach an old dog tricks? That's the worry. Can he change? I don't know. If he can, that's different. But if he fights the same he did, there's only one winner.
Yeah, the change, I cannot tell you whole because it's a matter of what we have to do, the strategic we have to do. But we need to increase or improve, let's say, improve the defensive skill-wise. So that's why we are working on it. How we will do is, I don't need to tell anyone, but we try to do the better, how we can improve the defensive skill. They have three kinds of defense, with the feet, with the arm, with the body. So we're working on it that direction. He had his own style, and everybody knows him since he started. He's been improving, but at the end of the day, we need to find out what is the best way to approach Zhilei Zhang. This is the main target. I believe in that fight, if we have the chance to stop his swelling, he take him after 6 rounds. Because in that fight, okay, let's say Zhang start 1, 2, 3, but 4 start to but already was the 1, 2, 3. He got a swelling. So I believe the tactic from Zhang, he was to take early round, is what he did. So we need to make sure early round he not get hit that way, because if you see Joe in all his professional fight, he never been swelled the way he swelled with Zhang. So we need to take care of it.
You've got to take your hat off to him for going straight back in there with him. I thought, Joe Joyce, for me, I always thought only had sort of one way to fight, and he surprised me when he boxed Dubois because he altered his style a little bit, which then afterwards I was thinking, well, maybe he was a bit sort of stupid to think that, because he was a very successful amateur. If he can adapt to what he did wrong last time, then he's got a chance. But sometimes people just aren't great with southpaws, and maybe that's the thing with Joe Joyce. Is maybe his best attributes aren't great with southpaws, but I hope he does. He seems like a nice guy, Joe Joyce, and he's British, so I'll always support someone who's British. And yeah, it's a good fight. I'd set my hat off to him for taking it, because he didn't have to take this straight away.
I hope so. I like Joe. He's a very good mate of mine. And yeah, I think he thought he was going to walk through Zhang. So yeah, I believe he just has to be a little bit more cuter, a bit more smarter. And a lot of people say, oh yeah, Joe's not that good. He's this. He's just tough. No. You can't win a Commonwealth gold, a European gold, a world, potentially a world gold, because he got robbed in a final and he got robbed in Olympics. So you can't do all that and be just tough. You got to be a good fighter, and he's a very good fighter, and he's beat some good fighters as a pro. And Zhang's a very good fighter also, because I remember him in the amateurs, and he was top also. But yeah, he just has to be a little bit more smart, a little bit more cuter, and I'm sure he'll come on top.
That could be revenge, because Joe tried to chop down another Joe. That stuck it out. Joe can box, and Joe if he boxes and bangs, he'll win. You know, so that could be revenge.
I don't know. I mean, it was pretty conclusive last time. I think Zhang's a good fighter, man. He's massive, compact, can crack. Listen, that fight against Hrgovic in Saudi, he was probably unlucky there. So I think Joyce has got it all to do, because I think with Joyce, what you see is what you get. That said, I think mentally he'll be a lot more prepared for what Zhang has. Maybe last time he was probably looking past him a little bit.
I'm rooting for Zhang. I've sparred with him a few times over here, and he's a good guy. And I think he did really good in that first fight. So hoping that he can do as well this time. And I think he can. I mean, he did it once. Why couldn't he do it twice? But I'm sure that Joyce is going to come back and try to bring everything. And if he didn't get that injury in his first fight, he might have won it. But he did get the injury, and Zhang caused it. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting, but I'm rooting for Zhang.
Got a great chance, got to do things differently. I think he was a bit static and made some just fundamental errors against Zhang last time. I'm certainly hoping that he'll put that right. His movement's got to be different. Certainly he kept on moving onto the backhand of his opponent last time, so I'm expecting changes in his style most certainly. And like I said, Joe is quite capable, I think, of beating Zhang. He's beaten, I think, as good southpaws in the amateurs when he was a top-class amateur. I know it's professional, it's different, but Zhang was a top-class amateur also. So he's quite. My point is, he's quite capable of handling that sort of style, and to get to grips with it, sort it out, because he did it as a top-class amateur, and I'm expecting it to do it as a pro. So I think Joe Joyce, again, hard fight, but he can win that fight most definitely.
Not sure really whether he reversed that fight, because I just think Zhang had his number that night, and he couldn't really get out of the way of his backhand. And I just don't know whether Joe can make them adjustments to change his game plan. I hope he does, because I like Joe. He's a nice fella and he's a good guy, but I don't know really. I think Zhang is a really good fighter. He's underrated as well. If you watch him against Hrgovic, he looked really good in that fight as well, and you know, I think he's a real threat to anyone. Zhang, he can bang. He's got fast hands, and he's obviously a massive geezer. So I think it's going to be an hard night's work for Joyce. But as I say, I hope he comes through.
其实这是一个规律，然后你想在短期内你让有太大的改变，那是不可能的。然后他可能会稍加去做一些很小的一些改变。 但是改变不会太大，然后所以说我们现在还是注重把我们所有的注意力，然后放在训练上面，然后从上一场比赛中总结的一些经验，然后一些缺点，然后在这一期训练营中把我们的这些不足，然后弥补上去，然后下一场比赛会更加精彩。
Boxing is such a science, and you know, how much can a fighter change in such a short period of time? I don't know. Maybe he do minor adjustments, but I don't think about that. You know, for me, I always focus on myself. I study my strength, I study my weakness. I will deliver an exciting fight.
I just need to be better. I need to have my tactics right, the game plan right, and everything practiced in place, so I can put on a display that I believe I can. I believe I can win this fight, and that's why I've taken the rematch and not the scenic route round. I just want to get get back in there and right the wrongs, and Yeah, Zhang's a tricky fighter, and it was maybe a risk too far and I gave him a shot, an opportunity, and he took it, and he seems to be training hard, and it's going to be a tough fight.